Okay, yo, what's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video, where, as you can tell, we're going to be talking about Boruto episode 21. I don't really have the title for this episode on hand, but that's okay, because this episode was kind of butt. I didn't really enjoy it, not because of... I guess the writing had something to do with it, the series of events, all that sort of stuff, but the biggest issue was that the episode was centered around the fight that started happening about maybe like halfway into it, or in the last third of the episode. But the animation, both art and animation throughout the episode were pretty lackluster on like just a regular basis, and it just hurt the whole thing overall. I mean, like I don't really know how much more I can say. Like, you have to watch the episode yourself. If you have watched the episode, you know what I'm talking about. Everything feels really really stiff, really dead, and even the still image frames aren't very pretty to look at. By the way, I have my girlfriend right here. Alyssa, say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so she's going to be talking with me, albeit not very much, because she's pretty shy about the episode. So, I mean, just what did you think about it? You don't have to go too deep into detail. Just, did you like it or no?
I was okay.
No, I wasn't. I think it was pretty bad.
It was okay. I like Sasuke a lot.
Yeah, Sasuke actually made the episode. Like, he did a really good job acting like Sasuke is an actor. But the guys who wrote Sasuke and well, his voice actor, I guess I shouldn't really comment on this because I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know how people are supposed to sound when they speak Japanese, but this guy, he seemed a bit off later on in the episode. Like, you know, when he was giving this, Sakura was like, oh no, it's my fault that all this happened, and Sasuke was like, no, it's my fault, don't worry, babe. And it just seemed really out of character for like Sasuke to speak like that. But overall, yeah, he did make the episode. Naruto was pretty good as well, but he didn't really speak that much or do a whole lot, and I guess I can't blame the episode on this because this happened in the manga chapter as well. But both Naruto and Sasuke got like fondled by Shin. It was pretty bad, and it was a little annoying because like all this guy can do is control weapons with his Sharingan, and then he like shut down Naruto and Sasuke. But then suddenly Sakura came and saved the day, and it's like, are you kidding me? It's like, I guess it's like to a lesser extent when Trunks swooped in and killed Zamasu in Dragon Ball Super when Goku and Vegeta couldn't do it. Although in this case it's a bit more justified because Naruto and Sasuke were both paralyzed because they got caught off guard. By the way, what do you think of Shin? I think he's lame.
He is totally lame.
Yeah, especially because I actually liked the little kid Shin, you know, like, I actually liked the little kid Shin, the one with the white hair who was like, you know, like the one that talked like that. And you know, I thought he got the job done, and he was pretty imposing as a villain. Meanwhile, this guy, he seems like he's like a parody of a Naruto villain. You get what I mean? Like, he's got like no teeth too. I don't know how you're supposed to take him seriously, and he's got like the big fat bulging eye, and he's like, I'm gonna reform the Akatsuki. Like, what? I don't know what he's doing. I don't even know if it was, like, I guess it's hinted at a little bit in a previous episode, but he doesn't really expand upon his motivation for wanting to kill Sasuke just because apparently he, killed Itachi. Yeah, I don't really know what he's doing. He's, you know, like, I don't think he knew anything about Itachi for somebody who's such an alleged Itachi fanatic, because Itachi didn't really like the Akatsuki at all. Also, so he has this one little, I don't even know what to call it, but it's this, also, you guys might hear cat. I can't do anything about it. I'm at my girlfriend's house right now, and we don't really have the most sophisticated recording setup, and there's like 50 billion cats everywhere. Anyway, there is this, like, I don't know what to call it. It reminds me of Doom's Eye from Shadow the Hedgehog. This little critter, like, walking around, this little, like, wiener type dude with the eye in his head and this hilarious grin on his face.
His nose is crooked.
Yeah, that guy was awesome. He's the coolest Naruto villain ever. That's my man. But like, Shin himself, the Papa Shin anyway, all the kid Shins are kind of cool. I like the way they speak and the way they act. Their powers are just dumb. But yeah, that little wiener dude was flying around everywhere. Apparently he can like create portals with his Mangekyo Sharingan. That's a really unique, interesting ability. Never seen that anywhere before. Don't know a single Naruto character who can open up dimensional portals. Creativity like that is what this series needs. Really not much else went on in the episode. I guess I can't fault the episode for the fact that Chocho was there. But Chocho was there, and that's minus a couple points because she didn't contribute at all. This sounds like a very generic, normie criticism to make. Like, Cho-Cho's just so annoying. I wanted to punch her. Because, like, if a character is written to be annoying, then, like, whatever. It's not a big deal. The thing is, she felt really out of place in this episode. She didn't really do anything, and she took away screen time from the more interesting characters. Also, maybe I'm not qualified to say this, but I feel like Sarada was being like a bit of a baby. Like, granted, I get, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying the problems that she has with her family. She wants to know about Sasuke, who her real dad is, who her real mom is, all that. But like, all Sasuke says is like, what I'm doing has nothing to do with you, and she's like, whatever, and then she like runs out, and I'm like, all right, you don't have to yell at him for that. You could have just asked him, like, okay, well, is it something for you? Is it for, you're not like walking around with like other girls? Are you doing like ninja duty, something like that? She could have just asked the question instead of being a big fat baby brat booby butt about it. But so I don't know about Sarada. She's kind of been. What do you think about her? She's been kind of hit or miss for me for most of the series, but most of the time she's pretty miss, I think.
I like her.
Why? Go ahead and explain.
Because I don't know. I don't know.
What about Sarada makes you be like, yeah, I'd be friends with her?
I don't know if I'd be friends with her.
Okay.
I just think she's an okay character.
She's just annoying. She complains about a lot, and the fact that she tries to do a whole bunch of stuff without even like running it by people, and like trying like she tries to explain away stuff that people would be totally okay with her doing. It's really annoying, and I guess it's like whatever, like you shouldn't let like problems you would personally have with this person affect how you think of them as a character. But it's just like I don't think like anybody acts like that. It's like, she wants to go find Sasuke and she's just like, yeah, I'm going to the store in the Hidden Sound Village. It's like, what? Just say you want to go find your dad or something. Or like when she was like riding on top of the train, but that's from another episode. As you can tell, there's not really a whole lot to talk about here. One thing that bugged me about this episode, by the way, well, one of the many things that bugged me is that the beginning of it was just a recap. And other episodes have done this before where they've shown clips of the previous episode, but they've always like segued into new material before they got to the opening, or at the very least, they didn't take like 2 whole minutes. This was just here to eat up time because this episode felt lazy. I don't really think they wanted to make it, as you can tell. Or I guess they wanted to make it, but I don't really think they like wanted to make it. I don't think their hearts were in it, as you can tell by the lazy animation, the pretty off art. There's actually this like one scene. You can barely see it. It's only for a couple seconds, but there's this scene around like 6 minutes 45 seconds where Shizune is like talking to Sakura in the hospital, and you can see through the window, and her mouth is like gigantic. It's like really funny. She's like, and yeah, I was just like, man, they really like published this. Did they really not have time to do any better than this? Because I've seen some pretty well animated Naruto material, and this episode is it's not an example of one of these things. I guess. What would you give the episode out of 5? I don't think our ratings are going to be the same because you said it was okay.
I would say around the 3 or 4.
No, a 4 implies it's like really good. This episode was like
Probably
a 2.5 if I'm being generous. It was okay. On my scale, by the way, like 3 is like decent or good. I know I gave a lot of the Boruto episodes in the past like a 3.5 or like a 4. No. Most of these episodes are like a solid 3 or 2.5. 2 is like okay. 3 is decent. 3 is decent. This episode was like 2.5. It was kind of like subpar. The writing was okay, but not phenomenal. Like an example of some of the shoddy writing in this episode was Sakura was like, so why did you cover up Karin on that picture of Sasuke? And then she's just like, oh, I don't want Sarada to know that he was like an international criminal and an enemy of the Leaf at one point. And I'm like, then why did you frame the picture of him in the Akatsuki outfit? What? You could have just taken a different picture. And I mean, if she didn't have any other pictures, I find it hard to believe that Sasuke was willing to take a picture with his Taka buddies, but not with Sakura, his wife. It just like there's no way. That doesn't make any sense. And there were a couple other iffy writing or narrative moments, but like I guess for the most part the writing was okay. Sasuke really carried the episode, I think, because everybody else aside from like Naruto was pretty lame throughout it. The episode ended, it was supposed to end on like this really cool note. It was sort of like the end of Halo 2 where Master Chief was like finishing his fight in the middle of like a Covenant ship. But instead it was like Sakura, and she was in like this other dimension. She also got sucked into a portal, and like Sarada tried to reach in, and it doesn't make any sense because like Sarada was getting sucked into the portal, then Sakura pushed her out and started getting sucked in, and then Sarada literally reached her hand into the portal and doesn't get sucked in. Also, okay, so there's a cat underneath the bed, by the way, for those of you who are curious. Anyway, she like animation I've already spoken about. It's just kind of like it's pretty ugly to look at throughout the episode, and that really sucks because there's like a fight scene at the end of it, one of the very few like big fight scenes we've gotten, and they totally just poop it out. It's not good at all. And I don't understand. You would think that they would have put a lot of time and money into one of their big fight scenes because that's what's going to draw a lot of people into watching the show, but apparently not. Apparently that's not very important. I mean, like, it was an enjoyable episode, I guess. It was fun to watch, but like my first words after we finished watching through it were, well, that was kind of lame. You know, Alyssa was right here, and it's just, if you haven't watched it yet, I would say just go read the manga if you haven't read the manga chapter. If you've already read the manga chapters, then skip the episode. It's not really that good. Whatever, man. Those are my thoughts on the episode. Make sure to leave yours in the comments below. Say hi to Alyssa. Tell her not to be so nervous next time I record a video with her, because like I mean, she barely talked at all, as you can hear. But yeah, anyway, till next time, talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.